Hello and welcome to Stratford Chefs School Open Kitchen at Home with Chef Eli. Today we're looking at the chef tips of how to make house-made ricotta. The ingredients to make ricotta at home are relatively simplistic, involving milk, 35% cream, salt, and lemon juice. Likewise, the equipment necessary is relatively straightforward, involving a pot, spatula, thermometer, strainer, and cheesecloth. The first step of this recipe involves the heating of the dairy. We're going to combine our homo milk 35% cream into a pot and bring it to a gentle simmer. We want this to happen over a very slow process. We do not want to scald or change the flavor of the milk. It's going to change from fridge temperature of approximately 40 degrees, and we're going to bring it up to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. After heating for approximately 15 or more minutes, we see that it has reached the 180 degrees Fahrenheit mark. We're just going to give this a bit of a stir, at which point we're going to add our salt, stir the salt through to get the flavor throughout the warm milk before we add our acid. The acid of choice here is freshly squeezed and strained lemon juice. We're going to be adding this, and what's going to happen is instantly at this temperature, the acid is going to denature and coagulate so that we're essentially curdling the milk in a very controlled way. We want to, at this point, not stir aggressively and at the same time maintain that approximately 180 degree Fahrenheit mark for approximately 20 minutes. If we continue to stir, or if the water is at too aggressive of a temperature, what's going to happen is it's going to be too high of a current, and it's going to break apart the curd that we're trying to form here, and we're starting to already see form on the surface. So by having the warm milk with the acid, we're going to denature this cream and curdle it, and then just cook it out for 20 minutes. After this point, we're going to set up a strainer lined with cheesecloth. The strainer doesn't need to be super fine, as the cheesecloth is doing the straining apparatus, and we're carefully going to strain out the cheese. We're going to see two distinct parts here. We're going to see a liquid whey with a formed cheese curd on top. We're going to allow this to rest and allow just gravity to separate the whey. We can set this for about 5 minutes and then move it off after the initial liquids have been drained off, and then cool it, allowing it to continue to drain without the warm whey underneath it. We want to allow this to drain for anywhere from 45 minutes up to 1 full day. The longer that we allow it to drain, the thicker that it will become. Likewise, the higher relative cream to milk ratio that you use will yield thicker and fuller rich results. Once finished straining, we will be using very clean and or gloved hands to carefully separate the curd from the whey. Lift the cheesecloth so that we can peel it off, again using gravity to separate it. We can then move it into a clean and or sterile container, at which point it will last in the fridge anywhere from 1 to 3 days at most before starting to sour and or show signs of mold. This is designed to be a fresh cheese and is used fresh within 1 to 3 days. The whey conversely can be used elsewhere in the kitchen, breads, polenta, rices, and very easily freezes in your freezer. So here we have it, our fresh homemade ricotta with separated curds and whey. Enjoy!